Greetings, one and all. I'm going to try something else a little bit different on this channel. Welcome to my movie review of the classic that is Slapshot. Yes, I decided to watch the film last night, Slapshot. It's a classic, absolute classic. And I figured, why not do a video about it and talk about it and give my sort of review on it, my verdict on it, and maybe open some hockey fans' eyes to other hockey films out there that you may not necessarily have heard of. This could become a series. You guys let me know if you enjoy it. And yeah, we could get something worked out here. So, of course, I'm going to do a quick review of this. I will keep it spoiler-free, just in case you decide to watch it for yourselves after seeing this video, and either remembering this movie, or if you discover it for the first time and you're like, hang on a second, I didn't know this was even a movie. Because some of you younger NHL fans there, some of you younger hockey fans out there, might not even know about this film. I mean, I'd be shocked that you didn't, but some of you might not know it. So here it is. So, Slapshot was released on February 25th, 1977. 1977, it's 40 years old this year, Jesus, and was written by Nancy Dowd and directed by George Roy Hill. Now, the film stars Paul Newman, Strother Martin, Michael Ontkean, I think, and Jennifer Warren, and it follows the story of the Charlestown Chiefs minor league hockey team, a fictitious hockey team, who have come down on hard times recently. They can't seem to win hockey games. There are barely any fans in the stands to watch them, and the team's manager, who's played by Strother Martin, I believe, has resorted to embarrassing promotional campaigns, such as fashion shows, to keep the team and the small local interests that the team have alive within the city. That is until the Chiefs are joined by the Hanson brothers. Now, these are three hard-nosed brothers from the quote-unquote Iron League. I mean, that sounds pretty intimidating enough. Who have a nose for playing a rough, somewhat illegal style of hockey. And now, as the Hanson brothers gain popularity and the team starts to win due to the Hanson brothers and their play, the team begins to resort to violent, goon-like behaviour in the games that they play. So it's basically the change of the Charlestown Chiefs, the Charlestown Chiefs, who play the hockey game. They're not playing very well. They resort to beating the shit out of the opposition to try and win. I mean, it's like a full-on goon movie, but it's absolutely brilliant. So I've compiled a list of the positives and the negatives of the film. So the positives, we'll start with the positives, glass half full. It's often been touted, Slapshot, as one of the best sports films ever. Not just hockey, not just the best hockey film ever, but it's been regarded by many as one of the best sports films ever. Also, it's really funny. It's absolutely hilarious. There's lots of humour that remains absolutely brilliant. 40 years later, I mean, I watched it yesterday, I still find quite a lot of the stuff brilliant. The humour of it really has stood the test of time. Also, there's lots of hockey references for the die-hard hockey fans, but it's also very easy to understand for casual fans. It's very well written and very well directed in the way that hardcore hockey fans will find something brilliant about this, about the stuff they talk about, like the first scene. They talk about different types of penalties that you can take, which hardcore hockey fans are interested in. And there's also the stuff for the casual fans, where it's just them playing hockey, which is also quite interesting as well. And also, it has a bit of everything, this film. It has locker room banter between the players on the Chiefs team, to the players' private lives. Like there's one player who's having some troubles with his wife, things like that. To the huge bench brawls and actual scenes of hockey being played almost every game. Like they show, I'd say, about 5 or 6 games roughly in total. It's about a 2-hour film. They show about 6 games, not the whole way through, but they show snippets of them, and you see them playing hockey. I mean, it's very vintage, old-time hockey, quote-unquote, but you also get to see all the big fights and stuff as well. It is really funny. There is something for everyone in this film, and finally, on the positive, some brilliant one-liners in this film. I don't want to give any of them away, because once you hear them in the film, you may have heard them elsewhere, and then been like, hang on a minute, once you see this film, you'll be, I know where this comes from now, and it all makes sense. It's absolutely brilliant. Now, we'll take a look at a few of the negatives. There aren't many for this film, because this is an absolute cult classic. It's an absolute classic hockey film, one of the best ones out there, as I've said already. I very much love it. But there are a few negatives out here. It has an 18 rating, so, you under 18, sorry lads, but you shouldn't really be watching this. I mean, you can do what you want, but I'm not saying you should. That's bad. But it has an 18 rating, and it definitely deserves the 18 rating, considering the language in the film. The language it doesn't hold back, which I respect that. I think that's brilliant, but I can understand why it's got the 18 age rating. Also, a lot of language in the film, it could be considered quite outdated or not politically correct anymore. There's a lot of language in the film, that if it was said today, then you would be incredibly shocked to hear some of it, I think. I mean, not too crazy, like, the words that are in there are still said today, but they're considered, like, less acceptable now. I mean, 70s, 40 years ago, different time, completely different time. I get that. That's why it's only a small negative, but it's a negative still nonetheless. Also, everything other than the humour is severely outdated in this film. I mean, the actual, like, story and the humour and the way that it's written, absolutely brilliant. But visually, it just shows the 70s were a completely different time. For example, the outfits that Paul Newman wears, who's the main character, the protagonist of the film, the outfits he wears are just atrocious. If you saw that in any... If that was a film released today and he was wearing that, you would just wonder what the hell the costume designers were thinking with something like that. But yeah, like, visually, it's not that stunning. It's made in the 70s, but you can't really expect anything different from that, I don't think. But yeah, the outfits that Paul Newman wears are just awful. They are disgusting. But all that said, if you are over 18, don't think about it, you under 18s. I know what you're thinking. I don't accept that kind of behaviour here. If you were to watch it, then bad you. Naughty. Anyway, and if you're a hockey fan, whether casual or hardcore, and you love a good, funny comedy film, this is well worth a watch. It's absolutely worth a watch, Slapshot. I guarantee that the large majority of hockey fans have seen this film anyway, but if you haven't, give it a look. It's brilliant. Now, all that said, now I've decided to rate this film out of 10. If I do more of these, I'll do an out of 10 rating. I think it makes sense. And my verdict is, drumroll please, Slapshot receives a 9 out of 10 from me. Yes, a 9 out of 10. Now, the only reason it doesn't get a perfect 10 from me is because of how dated and non-PC some of the languages become. I mean, that isn't really the fault of the film. That's the fault of perhaps the way society has changed in the last 40 years. I don't know. But, yeah, there was my review of Slapshot. What is your opinion on the film? What do you think about Slapshot? Go and watch it. Tell me what you think in the comments below, what you think of it. Please feel free, yes, leave it in the comments below. I'd love to know what you think about this film. We could talk about some more hockey films. But yeah, thank you very much for watching. If you want me to do any more reviews, I've got a couple of other hockey films, or hockey quote-unquote documentaries or something that I can also do reviews on if you like this sort of stuff. I figured, you know, we're hockey, I love hockey, you guys obviously like my videos on hockey, hence why you're still here, and movies are a big medium nowadays. So if you want to see more of these, do let me know in the comments below. I'm more than happy to make more, but you just need to let me know. But yeah, thank you very much for watching, guys. I hope you've enjoyed. Please feel free to like, subscribe, share, or watch some of my other videos. Thank you very much for watching, and goodbye.